Hello, I'm Bunnery.
I'm Brad Mower,
and this is IFXtra. So, how is everyone this week? We've had a okay week, haven't we? We had to take Dave to the vets, Dave the deaf cat, to the vets on Monday. Turns out he's got conjunctivitis.
Yeah.
His eyes went pink, but he's looking so much better now. Now he's got some eye drops, which we have to wrestle him to the ground to put in.
Long-time viewers will know his brother Grumble has an eye thing, so he's used to us having to do eye drops and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. Dave does not like it. Dave is very wriggly. But,
he's been good though. He's managed it every time.
So it's looking loads better now.
Much better now. Yeah.
Almost done with them as well.
Exactly.
So, that'll be good.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, what have you been up to this week?
App.
More app.
Well, I say app. It's been one of those things where there's a thing that needs to go into the app, which needs some changes to happen on kind of like the server side of the game, but also it's something that I want to get on the web version of the game. So we've actually kind of done some of it backwards. So we tested a new thing on the web, and I've been building it into the new app as well.
Cool.
So this is kind of to do with starting games.
Yeah.
So, you know, basically you're playing Interference, you can either join a game where we drop you into like the middle of a thread somewhere and you draw or describe whatever happened previously, but you can also start a game. So if you can think of a description you'd like to start a game off with, you can pop it in, say how long you want the game to last, like 15 steps, 21 steps, 33 steps, etc. And then we start showing it to other people. The thing is, we've always capped the number of games you can start at once based on how long you've been playing the game. Effectively, your level, really. So when you're new, you can start 1 game. When you've been around for a while, you can start 5 games. The catch is, it was just based on that number. So you could create 5 short games, 15-step games, or you could create 5 33-step games.
Which
obviously
much longer to finish, don't they?
Exactly. So the thing is, you could create stuff that would take longer, which is fine, but it slows things down. So we temporarily disabled creating longer games just so that we could clear a bit of a backlog in the queue. But I wanted to get them back for quite a while. We've been thinking about this on and off for a bit, and I actually started a little discussion on Discord. If you miss these things, playinterference.com/Discord. There's all kinds of chat about the game happening on there. I came up with the idea of kind of having a quota for the games you can create, and longer games would use more of your quota. So you could either create 1 big game or several small games. And I felt that would be a nice way to balance it out. Anyway, we've been testing this for a few days. It seems to be working okay on the website. I've added it into the in-progress app as well now. But the idea is you have a certain number of drops, like ink drops, basically.
Paint drops.
Following this is based on a discussion we had with a few players on Discord, and with the idea being it would be nice if it was like drawing themed or painting
related
themed. So you have drops. New players will have 1 drop, and you'll gradually build up to 5 drops as you've been around for longer. A short game costs 1 drop. I'll come back to that in a minute. A medium game is 2, and a long game is 3. I say cost because there's no actual money involved here, and after you've used them, they're temporarily unavailable while that game is in progress, and then when the game finishes, you get them back. So it's a deposit. So if you started a game and you're like, oh yeah, actually, I want to get rid of that and do another one, and it cost you 2 drops, they get refunded as soon as you cancelled it. Or like I say, you wait,
the game finishes,
you get them back. It's just to sort of kind of prevent the queue from getting flooded. So it's been live for a few days on the web, and it seems to be working out okay.
And it's nice to have the option now of doing longer games, because they get funnier, don't they? Longer games get
and this has always been the thing. The longer the games are, the more confused they get, and it's great. But obviously, because of that, as soon as people unlock the ability to do like a 33-step game, that's all they want to do, and they'll do 5 of those, and then
they'll take ages to finish them.
So it's just to kind of
So
manage
nice to have a
it.
variety of lengths, really. Yeah.
So like I said, I mean, cost is the bad word. This is why they're not coins. They're drops. It doesn't cost any real money.
No.
It's just a deposit.
Yeah.
And then you get it back at the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'd be interested to hear what you think of this.
Have a go.
If you want to post a message on the news post that goes along with this video, that would be cool. I mean, or as I say,
Pop in
Discord, etc. That would be pretty awesome.
Cool. Okay, now we're going to see who won this week's awards.
Before we do that, can I talk about Patreons? Patrons.
Oh yeah, you can.
Because we've had a couple of new patrons on Patreon. I always say these words in the wrong order.
I know, Patrons on Patreon.
One of the things you can do is, as well as becoming a supporter in Interference through buying the little supporter in-app purchase, you can also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/interference, if you want to give us a bit of monthly support. I say this at the end of this video each week. But yeah, so people can basically give us a little monthly donation, and that goes towards server bills and things and helps us keep building all of this.
Exactly.
I've had 2 patrons this
month.
I know.
Fantastic.
So thank you very much to Raman and Dax, who are supporting us on there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very kind. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
so yeah, much respect to them for that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Dave will be happy too.
But yeah, it really does help us because it sort of gives us like a little bit of recurring kind of support. So as I say, that goes towards server bills really, but
they're quite high.
yeah. I mean, and things like our Twitch subscriptions and things like that. It helps cover the server bills, so we're not having to spend as much on that each month. But it is really very kind of you. If anyone else is interested in that, patreon.com/interference. We've got a few sort of different tiers on there depending on how much you'd
like to give.
This is never required. It's never compulsory.
No,
if you happen to have some spare money and you'd like to
show your appreciation,
contribute to our bills and things, it's very welcome. And there's a few tiers, so and they have like different perks and things. So you get things like supporter status and interference. You get custom entrance shout out on the quiz if you're a quiz player. Things like birthday card, picture of did we say a signed picture of Dave and Grumble? I can't remember if we sign it or they sign it, something like that.
Okay.
Depending on how much. But yeah. Anyway, there we go. I feel uncomfortable talking about money. Let's move on.
Okay, let's go and see who won this week's awards. Picture of the week this week goes to Micah20 for Tort. I just love the colours on this cat. I like tortoiseshell cats, or torties as they're called. They're just so unusual. This is a beautiful one. He really stands out. Well done, Micah.
My favourite description this week was, "In a world where everyone is a balloon, Detective Balloon" by Caleb. Well, I mean, I say that, but the reason I liked it is I immediately heard it in the voice of the film trailer guy. In a world where everyone is a balloon, Detective Balloon. Kind of like cannot unsee, except cannot unhear. Nice work, Caleb.
Community pick of the week this week goes to Heraclium for Duck. This is such a beautiful mallard and I love the reflection of it in the water. And you can just see his feet paddling away there. That's amazing. Well done, Heraclium. They were amazing.
Awesome stuff there, as always.
Now we're going to see what we were doing last week in the forums. So last week, because it was a new month, we started a new forum game and it was called That's Not a Something. So what you did, you take the last item the previous player has written and replace it with something similar. For example, if I started by saying this is a bed, the next person might say, that's not a bed, that's a hammock. And then the next person might say, that's not a hammock, that's a blanket or a tablecloth. So we've had quite a few funny answers on theirs and it keeps going and going. I think it's quite popular. So pop in, have a look and just, add something of your own. Be fun.
Cool.
Okay, now we're going to see what we're talking about next week in the forums. What car would you love to have if money was no object? Would it be petrol or electric? More importantly, what colour? Also, would you ever have a self-driving car?
If you'd like to chime in with that, just head over to the general discussion forum. It's the pinned thread for the week, so you'll find it at the top of the thread list.
Cool. Now, don't forget, tomorrow night is quiz night.
Yeah, if you've not seen this before, every Sunday night, 7 p.m. UK time on twitch.tv/interference, we run Zeitgeist, the interference quiz of the week. It's a live interactive quiz stream where you play along against the rest of the audience.
Yeah, it's going to be 5 rounds with 5 different topics. Would you like to know who won last week?
Yeah, go on.
Last week, Darth was the winner with 205. Dax was second with 202, and Gus was third with 192. So some quite high scores in that one.
Yeah, it was really close actually. 'Cause I remember Darth and Dax were pretty. I think they were kind of tied for a lot of it, and then Darth just snuck ahead at the end.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? Because each round. A lot of the answers are the same answer.
Yes,
except for where they weren't.
You did troll people a bit.
I
there.
did, yeah, a little
so
bit.
I forget like we had sort of questions where the answer was a colour or something, but like
4 times out of 5 it was
for 4
white.
questions
Yeah,
the answer was white. Like the French flag is blue, red, and what other colour? And then
one time it wasn't white.
and so everyone's like, "Well, is it white? White?" And then like it wasn't. Yeah, it was. It was pretty funny.
So nobody got everything right
But,
on that one.
But yes, back to normal next time.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I won't mess with this week. So on Thursday we had Zeitgeist 20, so that's 20 questions on one topic. And last week we had toys, which is quite nostalgic, wasn't it? Talking about toys, old and new. And the winner was Darth with 189, Blue Jay was second with 161, and just behind that was Catcus with 160. So this week's rounds in Zeitgeist, the interference quiz of the week, are inspired by drawings from MCSC, Metal Mishbosh, Cannabita, Alice A, and Licked Beetle. Should be cool. And on next Thursday, we're going to have Zeitgeist 20, all about chemistry.
All about chemistry.
All you scientists out there.
Let me show you all the things I've learned.
Okay. What's that from?
The bonus points to anyone that gets that.
Okay.
It's a song by Semisonic, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
That's it.
But yes, chemistry. Okay, interesting. I mean, we have kind of sciencey stuff every so often, and it's kind of been like a mixture of things really. So don't worry if you're not a chemist. It'll be fine.
Too technical
It'll be fine.
No.
But yeah, it'll be educational, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, so that's all the news for this week. So it just goes to say,
if you're not already taking part in the game, then get involved. You can play along on the web at playinterference.com or on your phone. Just search for Interference in your app store. You can also get social with us. We're on Twitter at PlayIFX, on Facebook at PlayInterference, and we're on Patreon at patreon.com/interference if you want to give us a bit of monthly support for the ongoing maintenance of the game, building the quiz, making this new app, feeding cats and things. We really appreciate your support.
We do.
You get support status and interference, so you get replays and things like that, and you get a custom entrance shout out from Ava in the quiz.
Cool. Okay, so that's it for now. So we'll see you again next week.
Have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.